saying Lifehouse.
She was a model most of her life.
Oh, wow.
A full-time, real deal model, and then now she's 32, which is you're tapping out around that age for the most part in that world.
You can do some print stuff, but
you can, but there's a lot of go-sees. So the auditioning process is such that she doesn't. You can still book work.
Sure.
But it becomes the cost-benefit analysis isn't great.
Right. It's not worth
for
it.
her.
Right?
And she doesn't need to. I mean, to pay the mortgage, and so she's working at a like some gastro pub on the Upper East Side, a couple of days a week,
right.
And we're working on having a kid. This IVF thing, since I've got dead end sperm that don't want to operate on their own, we have to go.
What do they do to fix
IVF,
that?
they don't fix it. What they do is they take out an individual healthy sperm. Apparently I have one out of 11 million.
They find a good one.
Yeah, they find a good one, which won't be easy, and then. And then they sort of implant it, so they prepare the woman. There's a lot of IVF now.
Right.
In vitro fertilization is what,
sure.
And so that's what will happen.
Sure. Wow.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time that winds up sometimes in multiple kids, like twins.
Well, it increases the likelihood that you can have twins, though I don't know that it often ends up that way, but it does increase the likelihood.
Could you imagine if you had twins? It'd be pretty wild, right?
Yeah, it'd be even more wild if they were half black.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Yeah, no, twins would be wild.
That'd be great, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah. No, that wouldn't be great.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right, you don't know.
I don't know.
Because you've never been a dad before.
Never
You have
been.
experience with kids.
No, I don't.
You don't have any nieces
None.
or nephews or nothing?
None. Zero.
Zero?
None. My mother wasn't paternal. I've never been around kids.
Really?
I've lived in nightclubs most of my life.
None of your friends have ever been like, here, Dov, hold our baby.
I've seen them around.
Yeah.
I've seen them around, but I don't have any actual,
You can identify a baby.
I can identify them. Yeah, I can.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no one's ever been like, Uncle Dov, change the diaper real quick for me.
No.
Nothing like that.
Anything like that.
And nothing, no rocking a baby to
I
sleep.
saw my friend's wife give birth. I was in the room.
What?
Oh, yeah, it was pretty
What kind of a
intense.
weird hippie birth is this with all kinds of people in the room?
Yeah, no, my buddy is he runs an open door operation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his wife didn't mind.
Was it horrifying for you?
It was. Well, I mean, I'd have to think about it, but it wasn't not horrifying.
It wasn't a C-section, right? It was like a vaginal birth.
It was right out of there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, not horrifying, but no, it was definitely not.
I've seen them on YouTube only because I don't know why growing up I was like, I want to see what it looks like.
Well, because you know.
You're interested.
But yeah, I guess, but I just couldn't understand how a baby comes out of there. Like
Who can? It's like watching a snake swallow a goat in reverse.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And I
That's
saw
a
it
great
on
analogy.
YouTube. I couldn't watch the whole thing. As soon as I started, I was
No,
like,
it's intense. Yeah.
turn off.
Yeah, it's just strange what you guys are capable of.
I know. The best
a
ones are
thing of
those
wonder.
the birth videos where the baby's coming out and mom just grabs it and pulls the rest of it
Right?
herself when she's I got this
Right, yeah.
mode. She's like DIY birth thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's pretty great. You get a discount at the hospital. I wonder if you pull it out like
If you
it's
do it
half-
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do them at home.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
I've seen the water birth thing and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
People do it like in a tub of whatever.
I know everybody's got to put their own stamp on things, but I don't think that's the place to try to be original.
I don't think so.
I think there are better places to do that. Well,
Yeah.
pick up some watercolor.
Right,
To try. Let's go traditional on the birth thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why don't you do something normal? Let's do a quick break. You got time to hang out for a minute?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Dov Davidoff is our guest. He's going to be at
Off the Hook.
Yeah, Off the Hook Comedy Club tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Call them at 389-6901 or just buy the tickets online at offthehookcomedy.com.
All right. Never say such a thing. Didn't we have a window shade on that window before? No? Maybe those lights are never on. Because it just makes the picture look grainy. Big intro. Big intro.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome back to the Freak Show. We're here with Dov Davidoff. See him this weekend. Funny stuff at the Off the Hook Comedy Club. All this weekend, 389-6901. or offthehookcomedy.com. I mean, you know, you're on Shades of Blue and you play a detective and it's a drama show and everything, but that does not take away from the fact that your stand-up is freaking hilarious.
On point. Come on out this weekend.
So funny. When did you get started in comedy?
First time I ever did it, I was 21 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight, just.
Open mic thing.
No, yeah. Somebody asked me to do it. I didn't grow up with TV. My mother was on a commune. I grew up in a junkyard. It was very strange.
Oh wow.
Yeah, very strange early on. But yeah. So.
What were your first jokes about? Because I mean, if you think about it,
Yeah.
literally at that point, you had zero pop culture reference at all.
I don't know much about pop culture. I never have. But
Right.
I don't know. They were just about stuff, observational things, and we all have experiences that are universal, right?
Sure.
You know, love,
Right.
life, loss, all of that stuff. And so there's always something to.
Yeah, we all walk a very
To
similar
communicate
path.
about.
Right.
Yeah, in
For the
you know,
most part.
in many ways, I think, certainly, the core experiences are pretty universal.
There are ways to be relatable.
I think so.
When it comes to like other, because there's a lot of comics that
Yeah.
will refer and like use pop culture references a lot.
Right, yeah.
And when you see stuff like that, do you just go, I don't get it?
It all depends on the context.
Yeah.
It's rarely that I don't get it. Usually from the context I can understand it. But
Right.
but a lot of pop culture references, unless they're unique or used well, they're just bad. They're
Yeah.
just somebody. If you watch a lot of MTV and you're not that
Right.
that bright, you're gonna come up with bad jokes with bad cultural references.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Just very simple concepts and punchlines.
Yeah, Kardashian, you can use the reference,
Oh.
but you got to go somewhere with it, because if all you're doing is just another dopey joke about a dopey broad,
Right.
then you're a dope.
Right.
Yeah.
So there will be no Kardashian material in your set, is what I'm assuming.
Not unless, no, I can't think of any, no.
Have you ever had any exposure to the Kardashians at all? Like, I mean, it's amazing to me that so many people watch that show.
Well, but it becomes like this cultural sort of consideration, right? Because it's not them; they're just representative of a culture we live in,
True.
right?
Yeah.
They're just people walking around. I mean, if you'll pay some chick to walk around LA and go into those stores, like I know lots of girls that'll do it.
Right,
It's like,
yeah.
they're not at fault. They're just sort of not, they're not particularly bright or driven, or and that's okay. It's fine.
Kind of train wrecky, but that's what makes
Yeah, but
entertaining
that's
TV.
yeah, right. I mean,
Little bit.
they're pretty average,
Right.
and
But see, I think
Yeah.
the thing is too that they made a lot of people think that they're interesting. So, but if you were to really roll a camera on an average person,
Yeah.
it'd be very boring. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Every girl thinks they need a reality show.
Right.
But
well, what they do is edit it down. So
That's
I
it.
could follow anybody around with a camera and edit down enough to make them reasonably watchable. I
Sure.
think
It's
Yeah, I
like
don't know.
Facebook. Facebook just kind of edits down your life into these little snippets, and it makes
Yeah.
you look like you're awesome. Or other
Yeah, I
people
was
take it to
like
the other extreme.
Instagram. I read some statistical data. So I think some social psychologist was doing it about how it probably diminishes our experience of ourselves a bit in
Your
terms of
mental
happiness.
well-being is
Well, you're
at
always
stake.
comparing it to somebody else's commercial, but it's
Right.
not their life. It's just a snapshot from their life.
Of a moment.
And if you saw my wife's Instagram, you would think we lived the life. I mean, you'd think, it's always a sunset and a half-empty glass of wine. You never see a picture of us, having a divorce-level argument over a lighthouse.
Right.
Never that picture.
Never that picture.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, and so that's the nature of social media. You get these quick snippets that
Right.
make you think, but
Sure.
listen,
It's crazy. It really
Yeah.
is. There's a couple who, on Instagram, who make a six-figure income, and they travel all around the world, basically on Instagram's dime, and all they do is because they have so many followers of people, and they take these great, awesome vacations in
and
these exotic locales, and they take some great pictures with some awesome filters, and people seem to really like it. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're doing more than the Kardashians.
Right.
I mean,
that's
yeah.
their job. Their job is to travel the world and take pictures.
Listen, it's
That'd be great.
I mean, I don't like traveling it enough to enjoy that too much.
Right.
But yeah, no. I mean, I think it sounds like an interesting gig. if
With
you're into that.
technology, as technology steps up, we can
Right.
basically now invent jobs. You know what I mean? Because
There are new kinds
Instagram
of
model
jobs,
never
yeah.
existed prior to Instagram, obviously. So
Yeah.
now we've just invented a new thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wonder where social media would take us. I mean, certainly, it's. I don't know. I don't know what the net will be, positive,
Right.
negative, and what kind of influence it'll have on
And
people.
YouTube celebrities, right? Like, have you? I
Yeah.
mean, have you seen? You must have seen the phenomenon, right? Because you go to
What's
comedy
that?
clubs where you
Oh,
get
the
you get these
YouTube
YouTube
people.
celebrities, these
Yeah.
YouTubers, and now they're getting gigs at clubs. They're actually getting paying gigs and going
Oh
out on
yeah,
stages.
and some of them are selling a lot more tickets than me.
And what do they have?
I-
What do they do? They do YouTube challenges, and they,
I don't know. I would imagine most of them aren't very good, and that they'll burn out quickly, and that
Yeah.
life will get weird because you'll have received this sort of attention, but you didn't really develop any skill to achieve it. So
Right.
there's the sense of humility that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Which means you'll make some money, you'll burn out, people realize there's nothing there to see, and you'll end up blowing
True.
guys for you'll end up blowing guys for money to get more opiates
Yeah.
to
And now you're not on
diminish your
YouTube.
sense of emptiness
Now
based
you're-
on a life lived in the direction of nothingness.
Right,
That's
exactly.
Yeah,
All
that's
because
what
you
happened.
chased likes.
Yeah.
See, this is
Yeah.
what makes me mad too. Is
Yeah.
it now, like I see people like that too, where I don't realize they're on drugs and they're doing all this cool stuff or whatever. They can stay up, they do, and I'm like, how? Are, and
Yeah.
even in college, I'm like,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
are these kids doing this and
Yeah, that's how they're
exactly?
doing it.
But I wasn't doing any drugs, and I'm so mad. I could have been a much better student.
Man.
I could have been so
No, I don't know
cooler.
that that's the way.
I'm pretty sure that's how it
Just like he needs a rewind to go back and raw dog chicks banging him,
Yeah.
you need a rewind to go back to
Go
college
back.
and do more drugs.
No,
and
you
a lot
did-
less raw
you
dogging.
did the right thing. And less raw dogging.
Less drugs and less raw dogging.
Yeah, I
That's the
mean,
message.
I think we know what your New Year's resolution is.
Yeah.
for
Well, then
2018.
you made
Yeah.
me realize too. I'm like, maybe because I'm like not dating, but
Yeah, I understand.
have, like, yeah,
I understand.
this-
These things happen.
She's got a situation.
but now I realize like
Yeah.
I should this whole time while I was dating I should have been like with a guy with low sperm count. So I make sure
I
like
know the
that.
problem is convincing the guy you meet to go get an analysis. It's a
Right.
very challenging process because you have to make an appointment in a medical office to jerk off in the afternoon. And that's really a big part of the challenge.
That's awkward.
Oh, it certainly is.
Yeah, it's
I-
got to be really awkward, especially walking in there because the ladies at the front desk, they know what you're there for. They know what you're going to be up
Oh,
to.
and to build on that awkwardness, they do know what you're there for, and
Yeah.
yet the question still remains when I walk up to the desk: what are you here for?
Because they have to make you say it.
Yeah, like you don't, can't you,
Yeah.
can't you, from the look on my face, don't you know why I'm here? You know,
Exactly. I'm in
yeah.
a jack shop, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You know exactly why.
And I'm staring at the floor while I talk to you. You know
Right.
why I'm here.
Yeah. You can tell by your body language.
So they give you like a magazine or something or video now. I
You
feel
go into a little room. It looks like a closet. It's really brightly lit, and it's
Ugh.
very medical. You sit down in a chair with a like a baby pad on it. You know, a pad like a wee pad for a puppy. Yeah, you sit down in a chair and
Forget that.
yeah, and then they give you a little container. It is the least romantic operation you've ever been a part of.
Honestly, they should romance it up a little bit, right? They should
Yeah.
put a big screen TV in there with your
Candles.
choice of access
TV
to
is
porn.
hanging from the ceiling, and I went to a good place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, but and no,
I
and
feel
then
like
they have
it's better for your
magazines,
sperm,
Did
you
you
know?
bring toys?
toys.
Toys.
Oh.
What?
Hold on.
We were all looking at
Hey,
it
wait a minute.
It's a reasonable question from a woman.
There's
Did you bring toys?
like some beads. Or,
Yeah. No, you can bring anything you want, I guess. But
You
Marry
know,
a chick?
exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, that would be good. No, you can't
No?
bring her in
You can't
the
do
room.
that? Oh,
Yeah,
well.
they don't run that kind of operation in medical.
Yeah.
There are rooms where you can do that, but there are no doctors there.
Right, yeah.
Um,
This is a legit medical
Yeah.
business.
A lot of Asians.
Yeah, no, it was the kind of place, yeah, where you what do you do? Yeah, you go in, and then you put it in a container. Anyway, they're a high society magazine.
But it's
High
so
society.
sterile. I feel like if they made it sexier, right, that the sperm would
Yeah.
be, better, more receptive.
I'd love to believe that's what it is.
Yeah,
After
that's
mine
what it
were
is.
tested, I'd love to
See?
think like, of course my
Yeah.
sperm weren't active.
Your sperm are fine. It's
Yeah.
just that they're not turned on because it's so sterile.
Yeah,
and
you
not
had
sexy
me in a
there.
brightly lit closet. Had
Right.
we been in a
Please.
bordello in
Yeah.
1940s Berlin, Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some like lamps with like you know,
Yeah, the
red
fringe, red fringe. Yeah.
Right. That's what we need. That makes
I
sense.
don't know. It's a bad scene all the way around. So, yeah.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with the baby making.
We're gonna need it.
You know, you lost sperm and everything.
Yeah.
Dov Davidoff, everybody. See him this weekend at the Off the
Yeah.
Hook Comedy
Off the
Club.
Hook Comedy Club. God bless. See you this weekend, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. 389-6901 or offthehookcomedy.com. Make sure you check him out on Shades of Blue on NBC. Dude, seriously, congratulations on that.
Thank
do
you
a
very much.
great
Appreciate
job.
it. Thanks.
And looking forward to another season of that. We'll do a quick break. More Freak Show coming up.